Hey everyone! Alright, so this is going to be my newborn cloth diaper stash update. I did a video letting you know what my stash was, but that was before Euan was born. And so I want to let you know exactly what we used, what we didn't use, what we liked, what we didn't like, and why. So maybe it might help you guys in deciding what kind of newborn diapers you want to use for your baby. So I'm just gonna jump right into it because I really don't want this to be too long. Okay, so before Euan was born, what we had decided was we were going to be using two different kinds of diapers, essentially. I had a couple randoms, but essentially we were going to be using all-in-ones, and they were going to be sort of the quick, easy diapers that we would use, you know, if we were out and about, use the all-in-ones, but when we were home we were going to be using pre-folds and covers, just because then we would just be able to take off the pre-fold and wipe down the cover and put on a new pre-fold and be done. So what I will do is, first of all, sorry I got all of them sort of on my lap, I will go over the pre-folds and covers that we used, why we chose what we chose, and etc. So basically this is the pre-fold that we used. It is a Bummies pre-fold. It's 100% organic cotton. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this pre-fold whatsoever, except one thing. When I bought them, I was advised by the sales associate at the cloth diaper store, because I actually bought these in a cloth diaper store that's about 2 hours away from where I live. She advised me not to get newborn or preemie pre-folds because the infant size ones should shrink and that you'd be able to fold, you know, fold them, essentially fold them at the back, fold them at the front to fit, and that way you're not buying, you know, newborns, infant, and toddler pre-folds. You can just use these for newborn and infant. So I got 18 of these pre-folds because that's what I wanted. A lot of them because I figured I'd be using them the most because I would be home most of the time and I'd be using pre-folds most of the time. And the covers that I got a couple different kinds of covers. I got some Rumparoo covers. I got a couple that are snap and I got a couple that are Velcro. And I got some Bummies Super Brights. And I got one of these AMP's duos. It's a pocket as well as a cover anyways. But I got the covers in newborn size because the size smalls looked enormous and I didn't think that they would fit him. I was right about that, but what I should have gotten was a preemie pre-fold because these were huge, huge on him. It didn't matter how I folded it. If I folded it a tri-fold and then, you know, folded this in the front so that it would wrap around him kind of like that and then put the cover on, this was too thick for the cover to cover, essentially, and so there'd be a big gap right at his belly. Sorry about that, someone was here and the dog was barking. Okay, so when I folded it in the front or in the back, this part was too thick for the cover to cover, so at his waist, I tried to fold it in the front because he's a boy and so he wets more in the front, so I thought a little bit more material in the front would be better. There'd be like a big gap, and so he would always leak out the front, and the same for the back. If I folded it in the back, had this in the back and that in the front, there'd be a gap at his back and it would leak out the back. So essentially I tried these with every single cover that we have, well, all 3 different kinds, and it didn't work. So I bought 18 pre-folds and I only used, I think, 3 or 4, and the rest of them were not used, just because they were too big. And also after using them, I just don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of pre-folds anymore. So I didn't order any bigger covers because I think I'm going to try to sell these pre-folds. They worked well for us in the sense that they absorbed, but the cover that we had, they were too small. So in any event, yeah, we did not like or use really these pre-folds. Another thing that we had that we used with the covers, and I liked these a little bit more. This is a fitted, this is a Kiss of Love fitted diaper. And I did like these. These held the poop, they held the pee, and these are a newborn size, so the cover was able to go over and fit just fine. We used these for nighttime because they work the best. The only downside about these is when you take off the cover, you have to sort of touch this and it's always wet. I mean, there's no waterproof part of this, you have to use a cover with them. So I mean, that's the only downside about these, but other than that, I really liked them. As far as functionality, I mean, they worked great. And they have the snap down in the front for the umbilical cord, so yeah, I liked them. The Kiss of Love's newborn. For functionality, they worked great. I just didn't like to have to touch them when they were wet. Yeah, I'm weird like that. So yeah, that's basically it. Didn't really care for the fitteds and the pre-folds as much, so we didn't use them as much. So what we did use were our all-in-ones. And basically, the all-in-ones that we had, and I had a fuzzy bun. Sorry, I got Euan on the baby monitor. He's asleep right now. Okay. We had this one pocket diaper, fuzzy bun, perfect size. This one, I loved it. It was the trim. It was a trim diaper. The only thing is, his legs were so tiny that the leg hole was too big, and so this would always leak. If he had chunkier legs, it would have worked great. It fit him really great in the waist. It didn't dig in anywhere, but it just wasn't tight enough on the leg because his legs were so tiny. So yeah, if you have a baby with chunkier legs, this would work great, I think. Yeah, so that's the fuzzy bun, perfect size. Another one that we used, not as much, is the Kiss of Love all-in-one. We used it a little bit because it does have the snap down front for when he had his umbilical cord. But again, our baby had really skinny legs, and so this was too big, and so it would always leak. And actually, it was still too big for him in the leg when he became a super soaker, so we didn't really get that much use out of these because he outgrew the absorbency way before he outgrew this diaper. So that was unfortunate. Other than that, like I wish that it fit him better in the leg. I'm going to keep this diaper and I'm going to keep the fuzzy bun because, you know, another baby could have chunkier legs and it might fit him or her better. So I'll keep that, but yeah, skinny little legs. Little Joey. I liked the little Joey. It definitely fit him the best. Definitely fit him the best out of all of the diapers that we had. In the leg, it was the tightest by far. Yeah, the cutest, the smallest. I really like these. However, I had to change him the second he peed or pooped. Otherwise, he would leak all over the place. I have no idea why, because the fit seemed to be perfect, but yeah, it would always leak. But we did use these anyways until his umbilical cord fell off, because we only had these ones and the Kiss of Love all-in-ones that had the umbilical cord snap down. So we did use them, but I had to be extremely adamant about when I changed him, otherwise he would leak all over the place. So yeah, we used the little Joeys. And I did have this one Grovia, which I didn't really care for, to be honest. I had higher hopes for Grovia because I do have a friend, actually Kaylin from the Turner's Journey. She loved her Grovias on Cora, and so I was like, oh, maybe I should have gotten more Grovias because I only got the one. But I didn't really end up liking them anyways. This tongue is too long for this diaper. It would always stick out, and therefore, like it would be kind of like that. It would always stick out, and therefore when this would get wet, his clothes would get wet. Even if I kind of folded it down, it would always seem to come out. So yeah, it was really cute. I love this print. The print was really cute. It fit really well in the leg, but it was more or less this tongue that I didn't like. And the drying time was a lot longer. Didn't really matter how long I put it in for. And it would just not dry right here. Just wouldn't dry. The little Joeys had a long drying time as well, but this one was definitely the longest, and it stained from meconium poop, and despite all the sun that I put it in, it just didn't seem to want to come out, so the staining didn't come off. So yeah. The last newborn diaper that we used, and we had 4 or 5 of these, and I figured I'd probably use these the most, and I did. These are Bum Genius, size extra small or newborn or whatever. They're Velcro, and they're all-in-one, and I loved these. I did have a couple of leaks, because like I said, he had really skinny legs when he was born. His legs are still on the skinny side, and he's 12 weeks. But definitely had the least amount of leaks with this diaper. I really liked how it fit. I really liked that it was Velcro. For all the other diapers I got Snap because I don't know why, to be honest. My recommendation to anyone who's going to be newborn cloth diapering would be to get Velcro, because you can get a much better fit with Velcro than you can with snaps on a newborn. Snaps on Euan now, you know, are fine, but when he was a newborn, these absolutely were the diaper that we would use first when they were clean, because they least amount of leaks, fit him the best, they were the trimmest. Yeah, I really liked the Bum Genius newborn. So this is my #1 pick. The little Joey is #2, even though it leaked. If you're adamant about changing, you know, the second that they go, then they're okay. Next, I liked the Fuzzy Bun, but again, even though it did leak, because he had skinny legs. My son's got skinny legs, what can I say? Then that one, then the Kiss of Love, all-in-one, then the Grovia, all-in-one, and then the pre-folds and fitteds. That's the order in which I liked them. All of these diapers are good diapers. I think the reasons that I like them or didn't like them was just because of my baby's shape. You know, and that's why they did or didn't work for us. But yeah, that is my updated newborn cloth diaper stash. Stay tuned for my one size cloth diaper stash. I will let you know what ones we like, what ones we don't like, and what we use, and all that, so stay tuned for that. Alright, have any questions, leave them below or a private message, and yeah, that's it. Alright, bye.